can climb much higher where you belong. Now it's gone. I've been fighting that fire for far too long. Now it's gone. You can climb much higher where you belong. Now it's gone.
Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 5 in season number 2 of the NRLOA ARCA Racing Series presented by Krispy Kreme. We are here at the Watkins Glen International for the Lake Effect Ice Cream 125. It's going to be the only road course of the season here in the ARCA Racing Series, and it's 7 laps of action around this 3.4 mile beauty of a road course. I'm just saying that I absolutely love this place. Since it is such a long track, it's going to take them a while to get around on the pace laps. Let's go ahead and get the engines fired here for the 5th race of the season.
For Lake Effect Ice Cream and all the fans and viewers watching this race today here at the Glen, gentlemen, start your engines.
And a great command there to fire these guys up, and these guys will fire up here for the Lake Effect Ice Cream 125. Race 5 of the season here in the NRLOA ARCA Racing Series presented by Krispy Kreme. We'll get to the starting lineup in a moment. But first, the points coming into today's event. Jonathan King still holds it. 115 points for the West Virginia number 01. And he's been doing a very good job this season. Hasn't gotten the win yet, but consistency is the key in these series. And that's what Jonathan King has done this season here in the ARCA Racing Series. Andy Thomas, South Boston winner, is 13 points behind. And then a tie for the 3rd position in points between Daytona winner Joe Jefferson and our last winner here in the ARCA Racing Series, Brad Stover, who won at Toledo last week in the Menards 200. They're both 17 points behind coming into today's event. Micah Knapp, rookie driver, rounds out the top 5, 20 points behind coming into today's event. Now it's time for that starting lineup, and the number 55 of Philip Goldberg will start on the pole position. One of the very few drivers returning from Season 1 in this series. I haven't got a physical list on that, but I do know Philip Goldberg wasn't Season number 1. He's looking to get his 2nd career ARCA Racing Series win here today. Alongside him, it's Nathan Stapleton, and a long time for him, and he almost won here about a year ago in the Turkey Hill Series. He was the dominant guy of that race until his teammate blew up, was stopped on the racetrack, exiting turn number 3, and he ran right into him, ending his day. He could have had a victory, could have had his 3rd career victory on Napa Fan that day, but he's still at 2. But it could change here today as he starts alongside the 55. Lauren Martinez in the 77 will start 3rd. Alongside her, it's the number 20 of Daniel McMillan. We got our last winner, Brad Stover, in the number 27, starting alongside Tyler Ryan. Joe Jefferson in the 32 Daytona winner alongside the 66 car driven by Griffin Lynn. Then it is the number 5, Nathan Baird, and I believe that's the 81 of Matthew Phillips. Top 10 starting positions right there. 7 laps of action, no cautions, no pit stops. Just a lot of great racing here today. The pace car will pull off for Green Flag Racing here at the Watkins Glen International. As they funnel down in the turn number 1, these first few laps can be some of the best here at Watkins Glen, and Nathan Stapleton trying to run the outside on Philip Goldberg. Great run through that corner, but Goldberg might try to get back to the inside. The 28 gets the advantage on the start of the race, and it's Nathan Stapleton out front in the number 28. But Goldberg is going to get a run back to the inside of him, and he might take it away, entering the carousel. Down the backstretch they go. We skip the chicane here at the Watkins Glen International. Along for these guys to drive right into the carousel. Goldberg will get the advantage on the 28 and take the lead back for now. But Stapleton's going to have the inside back on the 55. And entering the boot, they're side by side for the lead. This is great racing here at Watkins Glen. We always get it when we come here. Goldberg still running that inside. Stapleton trying to power on the outside. And I tell you, that number 28, Nathan Stapleton, really working that outside lane very well in this race so far. They remain side by side for the lead on lap 1 of this race. Something's going to have to give, and it might give on the final corner, turn number 11 of this racetrack. A very treacherous place if you're on the outside. Stapleton will clear Philip Goldberg for the lead. And exiting the boot, heading into the final couple of corners on this racetrack, veteran driver Nathan Stapleton is going to most likely lead the first lap of this race. You see Philip Goldberg here in the 55. Don't think he's going to catch up to him and lead this one. And Stapleton wins the battle and leads lap 1. Still 6 laps to go in this race. But this is one of those places where passing is difficult, like the past couple of races we've seen here in the ARCA Series. Didn't see much passing at South Boston. We did see one pass for the lead. We saw one pass for the lead at Toledo. And technically we saw one pass for the lead so far in this race. And Stapleton is majorly pulling away right now from the 55. That's what happened in this race last season. Nick Smith, the defending winner of this race, got out to the lead, and nobody was able to get back around him. These ARCA cars race a little bit differently than the other series that come here. When we get the Cup Series here or the IndyCar Series, they tend to stay a little bit closer to each other, but right now, they kind of pull away. They go a little bit slower in these ARCA cars than they do in the other two series that run here, because they have a lot of series that run here. But still, racing is going to be really good nonetheless, especially back in here. Got all these guys bunched up. Tyler Ryan's up to 3rd. Daniel McMillan and Lauren Martinez, the top 5 right now. Our last winner, Brad Stover. He's only 17 points behind the points leader of Jonathan King coming into this race. Trying to find that 01 and see where he is on the racetrack. And right now, he's kind of deep in the field, as you see right there. Jonathan King could definitely be getting a better run than this, and this is a tough place to move your way from the back to the front. It's only 7 laps here as well. A lot of the other races that we run here at Watkins Glen are longer, so this 01 might be in some trouble. He might lose his points lead at the end of the day. Annie Thomas in the number 30. I believe she is doing much better, as you see her there. And I think that was 52, Richard Kingard, who was majorly off the racetrack there. Number 11 of Adam Lewis overshot the corner majorly, and he's got a lot of damage to his race car. And as they all battle for the second position, Nathan Stapleton is pulled out to a 1.5 second lead in that number 28 right now. Very strong performance by the veteran driver, and it has been almost 2 years. I believe it's going to be 2 years in November since his last win here in the ARCA Racing, or on Napa Fan. What am I saying? He's never won before in this series. The only 2 wins came in Season 2 of the Turkey Hill Series, where he was the champion. I believe that his 2 wins, I want to say, came at Texas. No, he didn't win at Texas that season. I know he won Armory Digital, and I believe his other win was at Atlanta in that season. So those are the only 2 racetracks he's won at. But he might add another one to the list here today. Of course, this place is treacherous. You got to be careful if you're the leader. We have seen the leader make mistakes. Tristan Allen, Aero Electric Pro Series earlier this year, led 11, I believe, no, actually 10 of the 12 laps of that race. It was lap 11 of the race that he ended up overshooting the corner, entering the boot, turn number 5, and that ended his day, at least for the victory. I believe he ended up still salvaging some points in that race. But anything is possible here when we come to Watkins Glen. And Nathan Stapleton is definitely not in the clear quite yet to grab this victory. Of course, Richard Kingart, number 25, or actually, sorry, number 52. He is a very good driver at this racetrack, a 2-time winner here at the Watkins Glen International. I'm trying to think where his 2 wins came. I know one of them was in the Aero Electric Pro Series. Trying to think where the other one was. I'm pretty sure it was in the Kubota GT Championship in 2016, where he won the 2 hours of the Glen right here, and I believe it was a 75-lap race. Richard Kingard definitely knows what he's doing. when it comes to this racetrack. He's in the top 10 right now. Almost went off the racetrack earlier on, but a good run for him in this one so far. Number 55 still in second. Tyler Ryan tried to get to the inside of him, couldn't do it. Lauren Martinez up the fourth, and McMillan down the fifth, but not much change in the top 5 so far in this race. These guys seem to be figuring this racetrack out pretty well, and especially the leader, number 20, Nathan Stapleton. Now 1.85 second lead for him. Lap 4 of 7. And considering the fact that these guys go a little bit slower than the other series do here, they actually tend to race the racetrack a lot better than the other series, so they don't tend to make as many mistakes because their speeds are slower. And when they don't make as many mistakes, that's when we get these guys to kind of spread out like this. Had a really good battle to begin this race. And after that, after Stapleton took the lead away, it's been all Stapleton here today in the Lake Effect Ice Cream 125. Brad Stover, our last winner, and Joe Jefferson not too far behind in the 32. They're tied for third in the points right now. Of course, Stover would get the advantage on the 32 exiting this race, but Jefferson would also get an advantage in the points as well. Stover just hit the outside wall there, and Griffin Lynn will take the advantage and dive to the inside there for the 6th position. Stapleton continues to extend his lead in this race. Almost 2 seconds that last lap. A very good run for him here today. Our points leader's having a tough time out there. The 01 currently in the 26th position. Annie Thomas in the number 30. He's 14th. That's 12 positions. Annie Thomas is 13 behind the 01. As for Brad Stover, the 27 is currently running in the 7th position, I do believe. And from 26 minus 7, that is a 19-point gap. And that means that the way they are currently running, Brad Stover would take the points lead away, but he would only have a 1-point lead ahead of Joe Jefferson, who is tied for him coming into this race. He's 1 position behind him. So the battle for the points lead could very well be between Stover and Jefferson here, and they are right on each other. So whoever finishes highest between these two drivers right now, if Jonathan King happens to finish as low as he is right now, and these guys finish where they are currently running, the points leader going to be determined by these two drivers right there. And here's one guy who wants to catch up to that points lead, and by winning a race, he'd be able to do it. Nathan Stapleton in the 28. Long time coming for him, I can tell you that much. It's not over yet, though. A little wide off the corner. You never know when one of these guys could overshoot that final corner. Turn number 11 like Griffin Lynn just did, and he had nobody alongside him, and Joe Jefferson hit him in the 32, and I think Joe Jefferson has damage, and he's slow in the 32. And that's Adam Lewis in the 11, who is destroyed after this one. Oh my goodness, these guys are all over the place. Lynn, he fell back tremendously in the 66, and you saw what happened. He had nobody alongside him. Nobody was to his inside. That same thing can happen to Nathan Stapleton. It's happened here before. I'm telling you, this place is unpredictable. It's happened so many times where a guy is dominated, but they did not get the win. It's happened to Stapleton as well. Of course, the 28 wants to go from the start to the finish, leading this race. And so far, he has done so in the number 28. That dinosaur on that machine. Definitely a dinosaur day if he can get the victory here at the Glen. What in the world was that supposed to mean? I don't know. Still a great run for him. Great run for Philip Goldberg nonetheless. Still the same top 5 as it has been most of this race. But Griffin Lynn just relinquished a position back to Brad Stover, and Joe Jefferson got involved in that accident, and he fell back to the end of the field, and he is going to lose all that ground he had. He could have had the points lead at the end of this race. Instead, he's going to fall behind even more from the 01. Coming to the white flag, Nathan Stapleton in the 28. Leads the field and cleanly through the corner as well. Martinez a little wide, but it's the white flag for Stapleton here in the Lake Effect Ice Cream 125. And a 2-second lead for the number 28. It's pretty much been that way this whole race. And execution is the word for this 28 here today. No mistakes by Nathan Stapleton in this one. And most likely it'll give him the victory here today at the Glen. See where the 0-1 of Jonathan King is after all that shuffling happened. He's 27th. Brad Stover is 6th. That's 21 points. So Brad Stover would have a 4-point advantage on Jonathan King exiting today's event, if it in fact stayed the way it is currently running right now. So it was right here when Tristan Allen made his fatal mistake in the Aero Electric Pro Series race. Not going to happen for Stapleton. I believe this 25, as long as he can get through that final corner, and even if he does hit that outside wall on the final corner, he should be good to go because he's got such a big lead on the 55 of Philip Goldberg right now. It's been a long time coming for Nathan Stapleton, the Season 2 Turkey Hill Series champion. Now, the Turkey Hill Series didn't run this season, but it will run next year. Season 4 planned to run in, I believe, July of 2018. And I'm pretty sure this guy's going to be in it, looking to grab another championship over there. But for now, it's going to be win number 3 of his career. And it's been a long time since he's won. The 28 of Nathan Stapleton is going to overshoot the corner. But remember what I said. He had that lead. And because of that, he'll hold him off and win the Lake Effect Ice Cream 125 here at Watkins Glen. Nathan Stapleton back in victory lane for the first time since 2015. And if there was one more lap in this race, Philip Goldberg might have had a chance. But the 28 able to hold on. And I said it before it happened. Even if he overshoots that final corner and hits the outside wall, he's got enough of a gap between him and the 55 that he can maintain the lead. And he did so. It was close. A lot closer than what if I were the owner of that team, what I would want. But he still got the W. But wasn't necessarily a perfect day, as he messed it up there at the end. But you know what? A win is a win. 36 points for Stapleton in the 28. And his first win on Napa Fan in almost 2 years. It has finally happened for the veteran driver, the Turkey Hill Series champion for season number 2. Philip Goldberg, Tyler Ryan, Daniel McMillan, Lauren Martinez, the top 5, Matthew Phillips, Brad Stover, Richard Kinghart, Cameron Garlington, and Micah Knapp, the top 10. Brad Stover will take the points lead. He'll have it by 3 points ahead of Jonathan King. Micah Knapp is also going to be up there as well. He gained on the 0-1. And for Annie Thomas, she's also going to surpass the 0-1 as well. But it's going to be the number 27 in the points lead. We're going to figure this whole thing out here. 27 minus 11 is 14. So Annie Thomas will have a 1-point advantage on Jonathan King, and Brad Stover will have a 3-point advantage. It is going to be tight up there for the points lead heading into the next race, which is going to be, I believe, Michigan. It's going to be a pretty crazy one. Super Speedway right there, 2-mile racetrack. And who knows who's going to win that thing. And Nathan Stapleton, another mistake. But you know what? Like I said, a win is a win. And he's still awarded those 36 points and the W for getting the W here at Watkins Glen. That's the way my brain works, okay? I'm sorry. Adam Lewis, the only guy knocked out in this race after that accident with Griffin Lynn. And Joe Jefferson was also involved in that as well. Those 3 drivers, Lynn, Jefferson, and Lewis, all finished in the final 3 positions. Take a look at the rest of the results right there. Interesting race, but Stapleton led from flag to flag, all 7 laps to the number 28 here today. And I don't think it's going to be like that next week when we head to Michigan, so it's going to start ramping up here in a little while. Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. Congratulations to Nathan Stapleton, the winner here today at the Watkins Glen International. And that is his first win in quite some time. I can sense a really happy person in my Hangout chat. Probably within a couple hours, I'll assume, because I know he's going to be happy about this one. Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. Congratulations to Nathan Stapleton, and here are the points for the ARCA Racing Series presented by Krispy Kreme after 5 races this season. I will see you guys later!